Hi, this is Gary Williams with more Cabaret Secrets quick tips. Today, I want to talk to you about sincerity, the importance of being completely honest, sincere and genuine with your audience. And I think a nice way to think about this is the way that a lady, an American cabaret performer called Barbara Brussel, described it to me, and I quote her in the Cabaret Secrets book. She likes to think of her cabaret show in the same way that she might host an evening, a dinner party, a drinks party at her home. She's going to welcome people into her home, into her room. Some people she'll know already, they'll be friends. Some people perhaps she'll be meeting for the first time. So with those people, she wants to make them feel extra comfortable and extra relaxed as soon as they come in. And the evening is going to progress from a few drinks and a few canapes. Maybe we'll sit down and have the main course, the dinner. And as that happens, the conversation will progress and get and become on a different level. You know, when you first meet somebody, you're not going to be introduced and immediately tell them a slightly risque joke, right? You want to get to know them a little bit first. You want to figure out their boundaries, their parameters, to know how far you can go. And it's exactly the same, I think, with a cabaret show. When people come in, I want them, I mean, not all cabarets like this. Some more edgy cabaret the performers want to make the audience feel uncomfortable. They like doing that. For me, the kind of cabaret that I do, I want everybody to feel comfortable. So when everybody comes in the room at the beginning of the show, I don't want to be threatening. I want to be welcoming. I want to be smiley. I want to sing a song. I want to open with a song that they all know so that they feel on safe, familiar ground. And I want to slowly ease them into my world. If I want to do some slightly more risque material, I'm probably going to wait until the show's really got, maybe a third of the way through. Certainly, perhaps the first number that I do after the interval is a good time to sing something that's perhaps a bit more comedic, a bit more fun. I'm just going to basically wait until they've got to know me a bit and I've got to know them. And I think just in the same way that we interact with people in real life, we need to do that the same on stage. We need to be completely natural. So if somebody asks me a question in real life and they may say, well, who's your favourite composer? And if I said, well, my favourite composer has always been Cole Porter. I was first introduced to the music of Cole Porter from a recording that he made in 1942. It was a grand subject that he was writing about. It was love and loss and blah, blah, blah. If you ask me that question, I talk to you like that, you're going to be sitting there thinking, what is this guy talking about? Why is he talking at me? Nobody talks like that. And so it's important to try not to do that on stage. If I want to tell the audience about my favourite composer, I want to do it in a very natural way. I'm going to say something like, of course, over the years, you can imagine I've loved almost all the composers of the Great American Songbook. People like Gershwin, of course. I've always enjoyed Harry Warren. But I think my favourite composer, if you ask me now, I would have to say it's Cole Porter. And the reason I say that is because one of the first Cole Porter songs that I heard was one that he wrote in 1942. I'd actually, at the time, just gone through a terrible breakup. And I was sitting at home, I put on this CD, I didn't really know what was on it, and this tune came on, I didn't even know it was a Cole Porter tune, and it was so resonant, the words, and I had to look, blah, blah, blah. I'm just making this all up now. But if I'm saying it in a much more real way, just in the same way that I'm talking on a one-to-one basis to you now, it feels more real and makes you want to listen. It's exactly the same to an audience of 100 or 1,000 people. So this sincerity, this honesty, this openness that you have with an audience, always try to cultivate that. And a lot of that will come from experience. And the more comfortable that you get on stage, the more that you'll feel comfortable being open in yourself. I know this is something a lot of people struggle with. Funny enough, particularly in my experience, trained musical theatre performers who are, as far as I know, trained often to observe the fourth wall. They're going to look to the lights. They're not going to look in the audience's face. They're playing a character. They don't want to connect individually with people in the audience. Whereas when we do cabaret, it's completely the opposite. It's taking away the fourth wall and it's really making a connection, a personal connection between you and that person sitting there and that person sitting there. When I was doing the Rat Pack show, a scripted West End show where I was playing a character of Frank Sinatra, the director would often tell me off and say, stop looking at them, stop smiling at them, stop trying to connect with them. Because my cabaret roots, I was always wanting to make a connection and warm to people, which is what you want to do when you're doing cabaret. So be honest, be open and be genuine. I talk about this a lot in the book Cabaret Secrets, and you can find out more about that at cabaretsecrets.com. And you'll also find there on the same website links to about 80 odd podcasts where I talk to industry experts who share their secrets on how you can create your own show and travel the world and get paid to do what you love. If you've enjoyed this little video, subscribe to the Cabaret Secrets channel on YouTube, and well, see you next time.